Boom, 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 boom. All right. So for everybody that's out there, if you were watching the other stream, I'm so sorry. It looks like we're coming online now, so people should start joining in. So sorry about that. I don't know what the heck happened, but that's what happens when you do live shows.
Issues happen in this field all the time, and we have been the victim today.
Yes, we have.
I'm just going to double check real quick.
Yeah, I gotta make sure.
I don't want to jinx myself again.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
All right.
They hear me. So they hear me. That's good.
Yep, we're good. Okay. Wow. Sorry about that, Mike. How unprofessional of us.
That's fine. It happens to the best of us.
So anyway, let's get right back into it. So what we were first starting off with was talking about how card counting is portrayed in movies, and I particularly, when I think of this, I go to like one scene of like The Hangover, where Zach Galifianakis is sitting at the table and all these numbers are going crazy around his head and stuff.
That's classic.
It's such a good movie, but they make it. It's funny because it's kind of like the dumb guy in the movie is the one doing it, but really anybody. I mean, all you got to be able to do is count to 50, and you can count cards.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, it's really that simple.
I can take that back. As long if you can do plus one, what's 1 plus 1 minus 1? Like elementary school arithmetic, you can count cards.
Right. So let's get into the basics of a broad overview of what it is to count cards, because I think there's probably going to be at least a few people in here who have no idea what that even is.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
I was delayed. Counting cards there's 52 cards in the deck. I wish I should grab a deck of cards, but pretend this. So before you count anything, say you got a blank piece of paper, the count would be 0, right? So when you get to that 52nd card, if you're going through a deck, the count has to come back to 0. So for each plus, there's a balancing negative. So,
Right. So
I'm gonna handle one little thing.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna talk while you figure that out. I was making sure everything's still good here. I still don't see any chats coming through, but whatever. We definitely have audio going out, so that's good. Dillan, how much of this, how much have you played in this realm of card counting? Like, what's your experience with any of this?
I'm shitty at math. I don't do anything. I don't do anything to do with counting at all on any level.
Okay. See, that's the thing, though. Is like it's not even like this crazy math.
I understand it's not hard, but the fact is that I can't do easy math, so I know I couldn't. My mind doesn't work mathematically. If this was like counting history, it'd be a completely different ballgame, Landon.
Fair enough. I know that's more your wheelhouse. So essentially, what card counting is you assign a number, whether it be +1, 0, or -1, to certain numbers or certain cards in a deck, right?
Right. That's it.
So,
really simple.
Yeah, go ahead. Explain that a little bit more.
Okay, well, 2 through 6. Let me get a pen. I'm gonna write it out for people at home. Here's all my stuff. 2 through 6. Actually, you guys at home write it. I'm not writing shit.
There you go.
2 through 6 is +1, right?
Right.
7 through 9 have a value of 0. I guess I should reiterate that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each individual card has a value of a +1. 7, 8, 9 have a value of nothing. There's zeros. And then you have 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace, which has a -1. So you've got 6 or 5 little cards, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 5. And if you see what I mean, they just cross cancel each other out. For every negative, there's a positive. That's why the count starts at 0. The deck of cards has to end at 0. It balances. So
right, and the idea being that when you get a high count, that means that you have a high probability of getting a larger card, right? A 10 through ace.
Yeah, because like I said, the positive one. So if you've got 4 little ones come out, meaning 2 through 6, the count would be +4. Now, it would have to have 4 negative ones to bring it back to 0. So that means there's 4 more face cards than there are little cards. So you can kind of keep a general idea without being a magician of what's left in the deck.
Right. So essentially, just one more time so people understand this. If a 10 was pulled out of a deck, the count would be -1. And if a 2 was pulled out of the deck right after that, that would be you would add 1 to the -1, so you'd be back at 0. And then it's just a continuous count like that. So for every card, the count changes.
That's it. I mean, it can trip you up mentally a little bit in the beginning because it's like, oh my fucking god, because you're like +1, +2, -1. Brings it back to +1. So if you got a positive count of 2, which means 2 little cards came out, and then a negative card, which is a face card, came out, the count would be +1 because you got the -1. So it's like 2 - 1 = 1, +1. It sounds fucking confusing to everybody out there, but I assure you it's not. It's very easy.
Yeah, no, it's super simple. Like I said, I found out about Mike, man, this was years ago. I don't even know how many years ago, a lot of years ago. And I had seen a movie where I saw somebody counting cards, and this is when, YouTube was my huge thing. I was huge into YouTube. That's all I watched. And so I just went on YouTube. How do I count blackjack cards? And this is where Mike popped up. And one of the interesting things, with Blackjack Army, and we'll get into this, Blackjack Army's been through a lot of shit. Back when I found Mike had, 65,000 subscribers, 10 million views. I mean, it was a big channel. There was a ton of people that were interested in this and wanting to learn. And they were all flocking to you because you're teaching this material. But not only are you just teaching it, you're teaching it for free.
For free.
Right. Now, like I said, you were probably the only one that I'd found, but are there other people out there that teach how to count cards, and what is kind of their marketing strategy for getting this out there?
Well, the number one people, I saw all the movies. I learned in federal prison, but we'll get into that later. That's coming up, folks. That's the cliffhanger to keep you guys here. But anyways, yeah, there's other people. So, there's a lot of good content. I always tell people, watch my stuff because I've got tutorials, but watch everybody else's too. Right. There's the more places you can grab knowledge, knowledge is power. Maybe this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about in somebody's view, but that's cool. You learn something. But there's a group out there in particular called Blackjack Apprenticeship. And that's really what prompted me to start teaching people for free online, because they were charging $3,000 for a 2-day boot camp and $5,000 for one-on-one training. And as simple as this seems, it really, there's no smoke and mirrors. You don't need to pay $2,900, fly to Vegas and take a boot camp. And number two, you can't learn this shit in 2 days. If you just got a shitload of money and you're like, oh, I want to learn how to count cards, and you go there, you're really not going to learn shit. You're going to have, 10, 15 people in a room. They're going to pass out some materials. The same shit you could take your time with online. You can Google it. You can go to YouTube. You can probably go to YouFuckingPorn and find something on card counting.
Right.
It's everywhere. You don't have to pay these guys thousands of dollars. Now, if you want some one-on-one training, I could see that, but not for $5,000. I mean, if a guy like me, if I make my money with cards, I've traveled Latin America. I just got back, into the United States last year, and because I couldn't play in the US. But I mean, if these, it's just a joke. And then they got a documentary out, and they're like, here's $100,000. They open a drawer, and it's just envelopes. We don't know what's in the fucking envelopes, And they got this little documentary. It's just basically a marketing scam, in my opinion, because they don't ever, I started with the undercover videos. They have a back off video that's so. It's almost like the pit boss has a mic on, because he's like, yeah, I know what you're doing. You guys can't be doing that. We're going to flat bet you. Man, watch my shit. They kick you the fuck out if they think you're counting cards, Hey.
Yeah, you're going into a lot of it that we want to get into for sure.
Okay, I have to ask. I have to.
Yeah.
How the fuck do the people in these booths, how do they catch you doing mental math? Like, how does that happen? How are these?
Great question.
This is Good question. This is good question, my friend. What they do is they watch your bet spread. So if you're sitting there and you're just betting 10, say it's a minimum $10 table and the maximum's 5,000. So you're betting $10, $10, you know, 20 hands in a row. And the next thing you know, you got a $3,000 bet out there and you get a hard 20. Hard 20 means 2 face cards. It's blackjack slang. So then you end up with a 20 hand and you just got all your little $10, waiting for the count to go. Because, you're like a bird waiting for it. Picture a little bird sitting on the bank of a lake. And he's just sitting there and he's waiting for the fish to come by. Now, a lot of the guys that don't know how to count cards, they're just like a really, really stupid fish that's just bobbing his head in the water. But a card counter's going to sit there and wait. And when that count, say it goes to plus 10, bleep, he gets in there, gets his fucking fish. And they're like, did you see that? Did you see that guy? So, yeah, that's how they catch you. When you start betting big money and then you drop back down. And that's where they come. If they suspect. Now, if they don't know you're a card counter and they just suspect it, they'll do something called flat betting. Okay, and that's where if you approach a table, you can't jump in and out. If you start with $25, you cannot raise your bet or lower it. Therefore, the casino will still keep the advantage. You won't be able to rape them because you don't always have a high count. So if they flat bet you, that means you can only bet $25 no matter what the count is. So it's 25, 25, 25. It's like buying a bunch of fucking scratch-offs, but there's no jackpot. All you can do is get double your money back. So now you got to, it's like, don't you hate it when you buy $1 lottery ticket and you win $2? That's basically what they're doing.
Do you get is there a way to get yourself out of that flat bet area?
No.
Or you're in.
You could pull out a pistol and take it.
Now, you can do something that Mike's done in the past, and this is something you can still find on YouTube, is he'll go out in full disguises. Like, you won't even be able to recognize him, and he'll go out, so these people don't know who he is, and he can get around it somewhat like that. But at this point, I mean, I'm pretty sure most casinos know who Mike is. It's funny because back in the day, he had a stack of paperwork from these casinos that said, you're barred from here. You can't come in here. No trespassing notices and stuff.
Yeah, they used to mail them to me before I would even get there. Some of them I've never even set foot in, and they're like, you can't come here. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's I got that video. It's called The Casino Breakup. I'm reading it. Yeah. It's pretty hilarious.
I guess news travels fast when you're having a good time, Mike. That must be what it is.
When you're making $100,000 a trip, they don't like that shit. So they're like.
So you probably focus on the United States because I assume that's where you live. But you said that you've been to other countries. How do other countries and gambling there? How does it differ from gambling here?
I'll give you an example. I was in Cancun and Playa del Carmen. I was in Guadalajara. The fucking max bet at most of these places is 500 pesos. Now, a peso, $1 is 20 pesos. So you're talking about a $25 max bet. So I was down there basically getting some fine ass Mexican girl. I was pretty much partying my ass off. And the other country, a lot of them are cartel. A lot of it's illegal now.
Okay.
He's talking to his dog.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you guys could hear that. My bad.
You're fine. We're all working from home. But yeah, it's like, the ones in Mexico, a lot of them, they're fucking cartel. They're cleaning their money out through. I don't even know how that would work down there, but they're, some big motherfuckers. Then they take me out. We be going to the clubs and the VIP, and they just got lines of coke everywhere. These motherfuckers, guns. It's just like, holy shit.
That has to be a scary thing, though. When you're like, it's like when you cross the line and it's like, okay, I'm in a fucking movie now. Like this. No,
they're gonna make a movie. No, I wasn't scared at all. I used to, my background. A lot of people do. I was very comfortable. I thrive in situations like that. Yeah.
So you just go with it, and these guys just fucking love it.
They love it. They called me the güero gonguero, the gangster white boy.
That's like Bert Kreischer has that whole comedic bit about the Russian mafia calling him the machine.
Dude, that is hilarious.
Yeah, my God, I miss those guys. But, a lot of the citizens down in Mexico, they don't like them. They call them narcos and stuff. It's, it's dangerous, but really, it's no dangerous in here. A lot of times you hear about people hanging off bridges. That's true. They do kill people. They chop them up. They blow buses up. But that's because you fucked up. You know, that's like the old school mafia shit that still, regrettably, is not existent here. You know, you don't snitch. You don't fuck with kids. You know,
You never rat on your friends.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
Now, one thing you were mentioning a minute ago, Mike, and I'm not sure if Dylan knows what this is, but you were talking about like if you get caught at a table and they back you off. Can you go into a little bit more about that and explain what that is?
A lot of times you'll see them coming. There you are. The count's high. You got $20,000 in chips, and the shadows start coming. You just, after a while, you know it. The first time it happens to you, it's like an honor. It's like, I have multi-billion-dollar casino, $1 million casino, scared of me. They're scared of me. They're telling me I got to go, you know? But they'll start approaching. You'll see them, usually 2 of them, and then they have security here and there. They come up and they say, excuse me, you can see it in my undercover videos, but they're like, can we talk to you for a second? And I'm like, fuck, yeah, let's go. And they're like, you can't play anymore. You got to cash in and leave. Sometimes they'll tell you that you can play any game except for a table game. They'll say you can play slots, right? Stuff like that. But, the first time let me tell you the first time I actually went in a casino and counted cards.
Yeah.
I thought the whole world knew what I was doing. My hands were literally shaking. It's called back counting, where there's so much information about to go out. So if they have a shoe game's where the cards are kept in this thing and they keep pulling them out. Okay. It's not a single deck where they hold them. Those are called pitch games, but a shoe game, you can do what's called mid-entry. That's a shoe. That's the shoe right there.
Man has fucking props prepared. Jesus.
Yeah, we got the props.
I told you I've been doing this a long time too.
So a shoe game, you can watch from a distance, right? That's where the movie 21, they're playing shoe games and they got somebody watching and you can jump on the table randomly. So you wait for a high count. And what was the fucking question?
Oh, yeah.
How do they know? I'm just talking all about blackjack now. So, yeah. You got me going.
But you were going to tell us the story of the first time you counted cards.
Oh, yeah. So, anyways, I was watching a shoe game where you could just jump on at any time, and I made my bet, and my hands were shaking to the point that it was like 150, 6 $25 chips, and they tumbled over, and I was fidgeting, trying to put them back on. And there you go. There's the bet. And I won, and I grabbed my chips. I forgot what the fucking count was. Ran up to the bar, got my, Captain Morgan and Coke. And I said, holy fuck, they know what I'm doing. And then, yeah, the first time you ever do it, it's a trip.
I can remember my first time going in after because this is like one of the things you were talking about with the blackjack apprenticeship guys. Like you can pay $3,000-$5,000, whatever, to learn from them. But this is not like a turnkey business. Like you get the knowledge, but it takes a piss ton of practice to be able to count. One of the things that makes it difficult is when you're out at these tables in these casinos and you have a full table of people playing and the dealer is just bamming them out. You got to be quick. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things you just got to constantly practice to be able to count down a deck. And there's a lot of distractions in a casino that try to pull your attention away from actually counting. And when I went in my first time, I got through maybe one deck and I was done, dude. I was so lost. I was just so confused. I had no clue what the count was anymore. I was like trying to like move my chips in a certain way to keep the count with my chips in my hand. I was doing everything I could, but it's difficult, man. When you go in for your first time, it's scary.
So
I'm gonna try to bring in some people here.
When you're counting cards. Let's say you're in person, you sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If somebody else is counting cards, can you tell that they're counting cards too?
It's so rare. A lot of people, they don't count cards. They might practice at home, but a lot of them are addicted gamblers, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. That's why, and they superstition, there's no luck in blackjack. It's numbers. It's mathematical. It's the only game you can beat in a casino. You hear people talk about baccarat and they got strategies or I know how to beat the slots. It's bullshit. Blackjack, there's 52 cards in the deck. They come out. You could let's compare it to rolling dice. If you roll dice, one spin is not going to affect the next spin, but each hand in blackjack affects the other one. So these guys that are saying they're counting cards, You just see them doing some, unless they're shuffle tracking, which is something I can do. But yeah, you can spot them. But a lot of times that's why we started Blackjack Army. It's so hard to find people that are really serious about this, and it's free. You can go down there. You can write in he could tell you about it. You could meet people in your geographic area to play with. It's Blackjack Army is phenomenal. It's not my shit. That's what I tell everybody. You might see a lot of videos hating, and they direct it at me because I'm like the entertainer, the spokesman. I'm nothing more than Mr. fucking Peanut on the side of the jar. The soldiers are the nuts. What fills up that canister is Blackjack Army. Mm-hmm. But these haters are making the mistake of attacking me. That's why they'll never take us down, because it's not my thing. It's your thing. It's his thing. It's my bird's thing. It's anybody that's serious about cards. So, a lot of people see videos. By teaching people for free, they're not getting their $3,000 training money or $5,000 training money. So they'll make videos saying, "Oh, Mike's a scam." Okay, fuck you. You want to say that? That's fine. What about the rest of the nuts? Are they?
Right. And I think what makes this so powerful, Mike, and tell me if I'm wrong here, and so Dillan knows too, is that when you get a group of people who do this all the time, because this is one thing I do want to point everybody into the links in the description for everything Blackjack Army and Mike are all down in there. You can go and click and join the YouTube channel and all that good stuff. So you can learn this too. We'll help you learn. But Mike goes on weekly and teaches you how to do this, and we count together and learn. But what makes it so deadly is that when we get a group of these people in one casino together, and you got one counter on every card, and you can figure out, okay, now we need to go to that table because the count's super high.
Every table, not every card.
Right. Every table. He's
getting excited too, because this is an exciting thing.
Right.
Like you see the movies, they've got these geniuses in these movies doing it, but we're bringing the average people. That's what I want. I don't like these people that think they know every fucking thing. I'd rather bring in people that have an open mind, and they want to learn everything. Anybody that says they know everything is a complete fucking idiot. It's like with medicine. Nobody says, they're practicing medicine, because medicine changes every day.
Right.
With card counting, you're going to learn something new every day, because it's not just about the cards. You got to know how to bring cover. You got to know how to work with a team. How am I going to cash all these fucking chips in? Because they want your ID, and then they'll pin you. So maybe you go get some prostitutes, and then, you get them $100 to cash in, $3,000 worth of chips. There's a lot to this.
Now, when Mike, the first time I told Dillan about you and wanting to have you on the show, the first question he asked me was, "Is this legal, and are we promoting illegal activity on the show?"
I don't know what the rules are.
I think that's a lot of people are curious, is the legality of this.
I've been arrested 7 times because it's illegal to count. No, it's not illegal. We used to do prank calls to casinos.
Yeah, we did.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I called him. I said, "I want to count cards down there." And he's like, "You can't count cards." I said, "Okay." So I have to leave my brain in the hotel room. There's nothing illegal about using your brain. You're not using any, they might consider it illegal if you use like some kind of computer equipment, but your brain is the most advanced computer out there. You just need to train it. So It's not illegal to use your brain. It's that simple. It's not. Card counting is not illegal, but these movies showing people get beat up. Do the casinos like it? Absolutely not. They frown upon it,
Well, Landon makes me sound like a big stupid doofus, but immediately after that statement, I said, well, I guess it can't be illegal because you're just using mental math. He doesn't put that part in, though.
Of course not.
I just, obviously it was something that was frowned upon, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know what we're allowed to be promoting and what the fucking rules are.
Well, he's done it for a long time, and he's still there. So.
Bring him on.
Although you were talking about federal prison and whatnot, I did want to hear that story about how you learned how to count cards, because, like I said, other than movies, besides you on YouTube, I hadn't even heard of this.
This is they're gonna make a movie about me. For real. I could show you the email. I turned down a couple documentaries because my last name is Morgenstern, but they call me More Gangster. A lot of people can't pronounce it. I used to rob banks. I've always, had a crew. I was in the streets growing up in Southwest Florida, And yeah, I got into bank robbery. I was like, you know what? We're doing all this stupid shit. The banks are where the money's at. So I started robbing banks. I robbed them up the East Coast, all the way from Florida to Maine. Got caught in Maine, Bangor, Maine, where Stephen King's from. Actually robbed the bank downtown there. It was like 10:30 in the morning. Went in, ski mask, robbed it, took off, stolen vehicle. It was pretty cool. And we got away. We got away. They caught us. But so there I am in federal prison. You know, I'm 20 years old, federal prison, and I went through a few different. You have to work in there. I went through a few different jobs. Kept going to the hole. I was in the kitchen, and they caught me because I don't have any family, so I had to hustle in there. So they caught me stealing a bag of coffee, which you sell for a book of stamps. We'll get into all that maybe in another time, prison life.
Right.
But so yeah, in the library, I finally got a job in the library, and they got encyclopedias, of course, and I read the encyclopedias 3 times, front to back, you know, and I kept coming to this card counting thing and going back to it. So I wrote it down. I was practicing. You got nothing else to do in there. Work out, masturbate, and practice card counting. So there I am. Then I went to the hole. I was in there for a year. Guy said I threatened to kill him, but it's I just said, you know what? They keep saying in here. So I had a deck of cards, and I was just practicing, and then they wore out, and then I had to make some makeshift cards out of toilet paper, and I actually made them like dice with the different. So I would roll them, and then I would, okay, what's the count? So it's a lot easier than shuffling up. So if you ever go to prison and you're in the hole, just take some toilet paper and toothpaste and water and form it, and then, you know, make a 2 or 3, 4, just like a dice, and then throw that bitch against the wall. Whatever stops. If it's a 2 and a 10, the count 0, and then just roll them again. Roll them. And then I started having 6 dice I made out of toilet paper. Boom. And then I'd look at them and be like, that's the count. That's the count. You know.
Oh so, shit.
Yeah. That's how I learned.
I gotta say, it's pretty damn clever.
Yeah, this shit's fucking insane. I would have never thought that. I'm too stupid to be doing this fucking show right now.
Hey, finally, I have an episode where Dillan is stumped, and I know something that he doesn't.
This fucking guy's over here talking about like this is easy, but he's in prison, fucking engineering toilet paper rolls, like because he can figure that dice are easier than shuffling.
I can't imagine what I would do in a hole for a year in a freaking one room for. I don't even know what I would do.
He told you jerk off, count cards, sleep, and work out.
You know what?
My penis would be raw, like bleeding.
God. Talking about, you know, you would just be sitting there reading a book, and it has nothing, no sexual content at all. Okay.
Mother Teresa. Oh, an encyclopedia.
You start getting an erection out of nowhere, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then listen. This is a true story. So you're reading the book. Say it's Old Yeller. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
You're reading where the red fern grows, Old Yeller. You're reading, you know, My Side of the Mountain. And you're jerking off at the same time with a halfway flaccid penis, you know, and you don't know what the fuck, you just go insane. I guess that was part of the insanity. You're masturbating while you're reading. You're not even thinking about masturbating. But that's true, real shit. Just masturbating, reading some books. Yeah. Okay, but then I'll give you another one. So I was like, okay, what are the biggest drives in life? Get money, but we get the money why? For the women, right? I mean, people go buy the fancy cars. I had, you know, my Lexus, you know, blah, 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 to get the bitches, right? So I was like, what if I can take the sex drive and make it where money's attractive? Therefore, I can amplify the drive for money times 2, right? Rather than chasing the women and the money, you're just chasing the money and the money. So I did this. I swear to God. I said, I started to mentally visualize a $100 bill and masturbate to it. Now that's some shit. This was in the hole.
Oh my God.
I fucking did. I was masturbating. It never worked, but I tried. I fucking tried. I said $100 bill, $100 bill. Oh my God, look at that 100. It didn't work. But I just said, if you could take the brain, like I said, as a computer, if you could transform it, because fuck the bitches. You know what I mean? You know, I want the money.
There has to be some rich, successful man that sees $100 bill, sees that Ben Franklin, and just gets a stiffy. There has to be at least one.
There got to be. I tried. It didn't work. But I did. I focused. folks, we got to do a prison show.
Yeah, I'm down for the prison show. It's gonna be like that scene in Goodfellas when they're in prison cutting up garlic with a razor.
Bank robbery is considered a violent crime, so I was, you think of federal prison as like where they're playing golf and all this because they classify you. It's called the inmate classification form, and due to the violence. Because bank robbery, even if you go in with a note and you don't hurt anybody, you don't pull any weapons like we did, you still go into a maximum security prison. So I was in there, with an 85-month sentence, which I did 6.5 years on. It's a little over 7 years. I'm in there with everybody's got 3 life sentences, 130 years. Here I am, a little 20-year-old, and it's nothing like the movies. I mean, if you like sucking dick, you're gonna suck dick in there. If you don't, they don't fuck with you. There's enough. It's like a college campus, and being young, I was around the mafia bosses. I'm talking the cartel guys, big people. I remember walking the track, because they got a track exercise area, and I'm listening to these guys talking about their Lamborghinis, right? And they're like, yeah, he's like, I'd rather drive my Jeep Wrangler than my Lamborghini. And I said, you had a Lamborghini? And this always stuck with me. He turned around and he goes, what are you, stupid? Italian accent, I was like, no, I'm not stupid. I'm fucking bank robber. I'm a tough guy. You know what I mean? He's like, you know why they make Lamborghinis? I said, why? And he pokes me in the chest. He goes, so you can fucking buy them. He says, stop being one of these dipshits that's like, ooh, a Lamborghini, and start being the type that, they don't make them so that we could sit here and say, oh my God, Lamborghini. They make them so that you can buy them. Anybody watch this? They make them for you and me. And everybody watching. That's why they make them. Or you could just sit on your ass and be like, oh my God, look at
this man's in federal prison getting advice from someone who's probably affiliated with the traffic anti-crime family.
Oh yeah.
Which is just fantastic.
Oh yeah, they taught me. They took me under their wing. I have so much. They wouldn't let me watch. They got television rooms, and they'd be like, they'd come in and shut it off. They go read a book, and I'd be like, all right, it was cool, man. These guys taught me so much shit. I could make the whole world criminals on this show just with knowledge I got.
See, that's something you probably couldn't do a crime family show with us because we'll all get fucking killed. But that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
I'm sure the prison show would be interesting to most people.
Oh yeah. Too. Oh yeah.
We really do got to do this shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it goes so deep.
Well, look at all the greatest blockbuster movies. Somebody went to jail, or the cops are chasing them, or Orange is the New Black. Look at that. I mean, it's federal prison for women.
Right.
So, I mean, people like that. They're scared of it, and they'll never cross the line. Everybody talks about, I want to rob a bank, or when people are like, I want to rob. Well, motherfuckers, I did rob banks. So everybody watching, this is the real deal. The captain.
I got a question that's on topic of prison. Yes. But it's one of those weird out there questions. There's a lot of movies about prison.
Yes.
If you had to pick one that's the most real.
Ooh, good question.
The most real, authentic. What do you got?
It's so weird because I really don't watch violent movies. I prefer Disney movies. I like animated cartoons. For real, because it's if you work in a kitchen all day, you don't want to watch cooking.
Right. I couldn't imagine having to live that and then watch it on TV and find that as entertainment.
But I feel like there's some films that people give a lot of credit to.
I would say the Goodfellas. What's that guy who represented himself? He was in the mob, and they said, "Don't do it. Get a lawyer." He's who the fuck played him? And he had a little recliner put in there.
Oh, up at Eastern State Penitentiary. He was in there.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I mean, I had a Christmas tree smuggled in. I mean, you can get anything you want in there.
Oh my God, get a Christmas tree.
I was getting laid. I was fucking my unit manager, and actually, we got caught and she got fired. And yeah,
of course.
I got some stories, but yeah, the movie. I mean, Casino or Goodfellas. That's a little bit close. That's pretty close because it's not. Like I said, there's not all this. You don't just walk in there and people start stabbing the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not like that. And I mean, I got along with everybody in there. So therefore, the skinheads didn't like me. All right. I don't see color at all. I get along with everybody. So, oh my God, I got so many stories. So, all right, you know what the Nation of Islam is? It's a racist. They're racist. They don't like, but for their own good reasons. They don't like the white people or this and that. So here I am. True story. I went to their meetings, right? Every Saturday, they had the Nation of Islam. I'm the only white guy in there, and they put me in there, and they're soldiered up. I mean, it's almost like a gang in there. It is. It's pretty much it. So they escort me to the front. Now I got maybe 650 Nation of Islam, all starched shirts. They don't eat meat. I mean, these motherfuckers are soldiers. And I'm at the front. And they're like, the white man, this, that, right? I got all these eyes. I'm like, fuck. But I kept going. So the skinhead guys were going to jump me in the pool hall. They got pool tables here, right? And now every gang or whatever, they have soldiers posted up in different parts of the prison. So I walk into the pool hall, and then these 4 skinhead guys are coming up to me, right? One of them's got a shank, and here comes the Nation of Islam guys. They're soldiers that are watching their people while they recreate, right? They say, if you touch that white boy, we'll kill you. So now the Nation of Islam guys have shanks out for this white boy to kill the skinheads because they were going to fuck with me. I was like, oh my fucking God, yeah, bitch. What now? You know? So
that's
damn.
They really do need. We need to fuck it. We'll make the movie about you. Jesus Christ.
Jesus. Yeah, and Brother Fred, he was the head of the Nation of Islam there. He used to make banana pudding and sell it. Everybody got a hustle in there.
Oh my God.
Banana pudding.
Outside of his cell, they got the Nation of Islam guy. Like, here's the door to his cell. They got 2 of them posted up just like this, one each side. Like, you are not getting to Brother Fred, right? So here comes my little 20-year-old bopping down the fucking tier, you know, where they got the cells and shit.
Right.
So I go in, they're like, what are you doing? Because I try to go in Brother Fred's cell. I said, I'm here to get some banana pudding, Brother Fred. And Brother Fred's like, let him in. Come in, Michael. How are you? I'm like, what's going on? We're talking. We're just talking. I said, I appreciate what you did for me on the rec yard. Because he goes, yeah, I told all my soldiers to keep an eye out on you. He goes, I like you. And I was like, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Just coming to get a little banana pudding.
Yeah, we paid a book of stamps. Stamps are money in there, so you got a book of stamps. We just went completely out. Everybody wants to know the prison shit. Counting cars is easy.
Yeah, this is. I'm sorry because I know the whole reason we brought you on was counting cards discussion, but I hear prison and I have to start asking stupid questions.
Yeah, we could do it. Yeah, we could do shows on that. I don't care. You guys,
that's fucking wild.
I'm curious about back when you were doing the bank robbery stuff, like.
Fuck card counting. Here we go.
Did you ever get to a point, like, I don't know, and I don't want to, I don't want you saying anything you can't say. So
no, the statute of limitations for bank robbery is 7 years.
Okay. So
unless they have an investigation. Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
So what, like, how much was the most that you got out of one of these bank robberies?
Oh, we can't talk about that. That we can't get in.
Okay, so did you ever get to a point where you were like...
Because then they could pin me to that exact bank.
Right.
But okay, you walk in the bank, I'll tell you what we did.
Are we talking like over $50,000? I mean, I don't know how long you're in one of these things.
Get into it. You guys are pressing fast forward on the movie.
Okay.
So, this is back in the 90s. Before the internet is big. Mm-hmm. You used to go to like Borders bookstores. You understand? Now they got newspapers set up from New York, Boston. Now remember, we started in Florida. You can get Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I know all the newspapers up and down the eastern seaboard.
Right.
So we would open them. Now, anytime a major company needs construction work done, they do something that people don't know. It's called bids. So various construction companies can put. So a lot of times these banks, it might be one in let's just say Maryland. Needs their lobby renovated. So they'll say, okay, First Bank of Maryland is accepting bids to have our lobby renovated. So we find out when they're renovating it because they'll move to a temporary lobby, which has usually 90% of the security's gone. So we would plan our bank robberies to hit the banks that have moved to temporary lobbies, and then they have something called a cow. A cow is where they keep, usually it's $85,000, kind of to answer your question. They keep it in there because they don't have the vault. So it's just this big, it looks like a food service push cart that's chopped in half. It's
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and it opens this way, and it's, That's where they keep the money when they got to restock the tills, the drawers. So we would go in. I was the counter. If you look up the newspaper articles about me, I was the guy who always leaped over the counters. And we had, it was only 2 people, me and someone else. So I would have my gun on the lobby people, right? So here I am. I got 2 duffel bags, like women wear their purses, right? So I got 2 duffel bags, and I'm going and I'm taking the money out of the drawers first, right? You know, and I got my pistol. I'm watching the lobby. Like, if you guys are in the lobby of the bank, my partner has his gun over my shoulder pretty much watching the people behind me. Because the worst thing you want to do is do all this in the bank. You want to stay focused. So he's watching everything going on here. He's watching the tellers. I'm watching that entrance in case a cop comes through the door, or, you know, to make sure that nobody's going to play fucking hero. So we got guns over each other's shoulders, and then we're just going to the next one. And then I hit the cow, which has all the money, and then we get the fuck out of there. But we used what's called an antique replica revolver. They were 6-shot, like 45 black and powder guns. Mm-hmm. Because if you go in there with a modern gun, they can hit you with their enhancements. It's bank robbery, like with a firearm. It's an extra 5 years consecutive, you know?
Oh,
but
wow.
by using, but the ATF and the federal laws don't consider antique guns or antique replicas as firearms, so they can't pin you with that. Like, we went in there with a regular gun, we would have got 12 fucking years, not 7 years or something. You see what I mean?
Wow.
So you want to use if you do, get an antique, go to any little store. It can be a replica. That's what we had. Even if it's a replica antique gun, you know, you still got 6 fucking shots. I mean, how many do you need?
Right.
Practice. You know,
just be responsible, everybody out there.
Yeah, I'm not saying go rob a bank, but we had to, you know. But I was crazy. It was do or die type shit.
I have a question that I'm curious if you can answer.
Yep. Here we go.
What's the worst botch?
I'm sorry, my bird. What'd you say?
The worst botch. The worst you've ever messed up.
When the lady hit the fucking button. So she's sitting there. I can't look. I see my boy's name is Lucky. He cocks his back. I just see him pulling his thumb back. I said, "Oh, I said, don't do it, Lucky. You know, I got one of the duffel bags filled. We're good. Don't do it. You know." And yeah, because she was just banging the fucking button. She didn't pay attention. Because when we went in the bank, we said, you know, I said, you know, we had ski mat. I said, you know why we're here? You're gonna have the rest of the fucking day off. Maybe tomorrow. This is not your money. You know, everybody just be cool. I gotta put my bird up. So yeah, she hit the button, fucked it up. Everything went to hell then. You know, because it's just that. Yeah, I'd have to say that was the biggest botch right there.
That's wild.
This fucking guy's life.
I told you, dude. I told you it's a crazy story.
It's all true. You can Google this shit.
I thought he was going to come out here. We were going to have to talk about math. I was wanting to blow my brains out talking about math. This guy, he's the most interesting fucking guy I've ever interviewed in my life. Listen, I've interviewed a lot of nutcases. So it is refreshing that I'm interviewing a normal, seems like an intelligent person, someone who has stories.
You should watch his YouTube before you keep talking.
Well, listen, you've seen the people that I've interviewed, Landon. I'm sure that his YouTube doesn't cover half of those people.
You guys are just speechless now. What the fuck? So I have a pet parakeet named Charlie.
Yeah, so I don't even know, dude. I've never talked to somebody who actually robbed banks, so I don't even know. Like,
yeah, here's the thing. Landon messaged me before the show, we're in the chat before the show. He goes, "I hope you have questions for someone who counts cards." I go, "I don't have questions prepared. Fuck, I'm the only one asking questions."
Let's take some questions from the people watching. I mean, I don't know where they're watching from.
Landon's in charge of the chat.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in the chat?
I don't, because my chat's not working over here. But what I can do is we'll go ahead and open up the phone lines now. If anybody wants to call in, if you got a question, you can call or text the number on the screen there, 706-237-8230, and we'll put you on air here with Mike, and you can ask your question.
Yep, thank you. And you don't want to miss out on talking to Mike. So, I guess to go back to the initial thing of counting cards.
Yes. so boring now, isn't it?
Well, you know,
To me, it's not.
you were talking before about how you have all of these soldiers, and how you just want more people to kind of learn because it's something that you can do easily.
Right.
But if everybody knows how to count cards, doesn't that ruin the whole game?
You would, that's a good question. A lot of people ask, great question for someone who called themselves stupid. The casinos are always going to offer blackjack because for every person that counts cards, there's going to be 1,000 that don't.
Right.
You know, I mean, it does. It takes a lot of work, like he was saying. This isn't something you can learn in a two day. Just because you pay $3,000 to fly out there and meet these fucking morons, you can't learn it in 2 days. You can get handed a bunch of this. You got to take the initiative and learn it. And a lot of people don't get to that level. That's why I push for people to meet each other, because if you're doing it by yourself, it's like working out. If you go to the gym by yourself, you're going to half-ass a lot of the times because you don't feel like it. But if you've got 5 people in a room, it's training time. They're going to push each other, learn from each other. That's why I push for people to kind of meet each other and, fuck these casinos. They want to kick me out. I'm going to take it to a gangster level where it's almost like a mafia. We got generals, we got soldiers, we got the captain. It's almost like I use kind of a criminal enterprise mentality to set it up. So we've got, different people do different things. We got one guy that can bust vaults. We got this. So, it doesn't matter one person's skill level. Say you can't count cards, right? But you might be good at distracting the pit ball. You could act a fool over here and start banging a slot machine. And that means here comes security and he can get the fuck out. Numbers there's a job for everybody in this,
This is fucking insane. This is me learning. I didn't even realize this was a whole enterprise. Because my philosophy has always been, much like you see in here, the casino always wins. You can't beat the casino, but you have the best odds with blackjack. Even I can figure that out.
That's a good. Let me just touch on that. You can't beat just because you can count cards doesn't mean you're going to win.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay? Over time, you have an advantage. But some people that again, they might lose for 3 weeks in a row and be like, this shit don't work. You get a lot of superstitious people like, oh, I played 4 times and they're cheating or this thing. I tell you, just because you can count cards just means you have a very slim, like 2% advantage, let's say, but it just, when there's more big cards. So you want to increase your bet. Over time, it equals out where you're winning, but it's a lot of fucking fun too, But if you can get into shuffle tracking, that's where you keep track of how many aces there were. If you watch the documentary, what was his name? The fuck was that guy? He actually had people keeping track of the aces, how many aces are out, so he can keep track of how many left. And then you could take it to a level like I do. If they hand shuffle, oh my fucking God, I'll kill him. Murder him, I can pretty much predict when the aces are by the other cards that are following them. Like if it's got an ace, if the ace has a 10, jack, 2, 4, I wait for them to come out again, because when you shuffle them, they're not shuffling them like this on the table. There's a pattern to everything. You see what I mean? So, is he frozen or is he reading?
Oh no, I see him moving. He's probably just frozen on your end.
I think he was talking to you.
Oh, me? Oh yeah. No, I was just paying attention, zoning out, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. God, this is the guest you're zoning out.
No. I was just listening to the story. I'm just enthralled by all this.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it. It's okay.
Okay, those folks who will like bet 20, then they'll bet 40, and then they'll bet 80, and they're hoping to double their money at some point. Isn't that a stupid strategy just because you basically would need an endless supply of money?
Okay, that's called the martingale system.
Yes.
Mathematically, it works. Theoretically, it works. And the casinos know it works. So the casinos are smart, okay? They have something put into place to stop that from working. And that's where you go in, and they have something called a max bet. They'll have this little plaque that says like $20 minimum, $5,000 max. Now you would think, why would they have a max? Why would they limit it? And that's exactly why. Because if you did that, where you just bet 20, lost it, bet 40, lost 40, bet 80, lost that 160, you would never lose. But you get to $5 grand real fucking fast, my friend. Do the numbers, you know?
Right.
Have you ever heard that theory where if you get paid a penny a day and it doubles every day? I mean, after a few hands, just, you know, a few sweet little hands, you're up to $5,000. Now you can't recoup your money, you know, because, you know, the casino can win 20 hands in a row. They can win 100. You know, there's no guarantee and you're going to win anything. So the martingale system, it sounds good, it looks good, and it works, except with the max bet that the casinos have in place to stop that from working. Does it work? Yes, but it doesn't work in the real life situation because of that max bet.
Right, and I think that's one of the things that lazy people do when they start trying to learn about how do I count cards, how do I win with blackjack. You hear about this counting cards, but then you also hear about the martingale, and it's like, oh, I could spend, you know, the next year counting cards to learn how to do this effectively in a casino, or I can just double my bet every time and hopefully it works.
I mean, it works. If somebody doesn't know what they're doing, it will work in the short run.
Short
it
term.
might work 50 fucking rounds, you know? So if somebody's just, you know, but there's going to come a time when you're going to get fucked and then you lose everything. But, you know, if you're just learning, I mean, I guess that's what I would do, you know? I mean, because theoretically,
if you're just bullshitting, bullshitting, do it.
But they have that set in place, the max bet thing, to stop that from being effective.
So you had said earlier that, you know, just because you count cards doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win. It doesn't mean you beat the casino.
No,
and I think that that's an important thing to talk about, because I feel like a lot of people who are watching this are just thinking, well, how can the casinos let this go?
It's sessions. It's consider it like it's just sessions. You got different sessions over time. If you keep doing it, and religiously, like, you have to be a robot. You need to know basic strategy. You can't just learn to count cards. You need to know what to do with the cards when they're put in front of you. You need to know how to play them. And I actually printed this out for the show. This is every possible hand. I printed it out for you guys. So and now we're getting into, yes, card counting's easy, right? But you need to know this shit. This is called blackjack basic strategy. That's every single possible hand you could get. And I printed it out just for you motherfuckers watching.
This guy pulls out the fucking periodic table to explain card counting.
Before we get into that basic strategy, we do have a call, so let's go ahead and take this. Caller, if you can hear me, you're on the air.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, this is Jesse, Foxwoods 21.
Hey, Jesse, what's going on, man?
You can hear me live?
We can't hear him.
That's good.
Well, I'll translate if you guys can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear him.
Why do we know
it's a
person? It could be somebody imaginary.
It's Foxwoods from Discord.
Yeah.
But let us hear him.
I don't know why it's not coming through.
Oh my fucking God.
It's coming through on my end.
Okay, well, what's he saying? What's...
Okay, hold on.
Now Lynn's going to fix it.
No, I'm not going to fuck with
There's
it. Go ahead, Foxwoods.
I got my computer on in the background, so I'm just going to go by what I hear on the phone.
Yeah,
I'd like to mute the background.
Yeah, no worries. What's your question? What you got?
My question is of all the websites you've been on, Four Kings, Bet Online, all that, which do you think, this isn't a trick question, which do you think has the highest advantage?
Good question. So, Mike, the question is, out of all the casinos that you can play online, like Bet Online, Roobet, Four Kings, whatever the case may be, which one do you think has the best odds of winning, or they have the best odds of beating you?
Okay, let's get back to the cheating thing. If I catch a motherfucker cheating and I chop their hand off, they ain't gonna cheat again. So I prefer Bet Online because they know I'm there and they know we could bankrupt them. So right. I haven't put in the time to watch these other ones, but I mean, you know, some people they'll lose. There's always losing streaks, and then people think, oh, this place sucks. Well, let's get down to reality. There's 52 cards in the deck, no matter what casino you play at.
Right.
I like Bet Online because they stay on a soft 17. Even a lot of land-based casinos don't do that. There's some things I hate, like when they have a blackjack, they don't expose it in the beginning. They don't look at the card. So you could be splitting, you could be doubling down, you could, you know, and here you are just throwing your money in the wind. That's one aspect I do not like. But I mean, that's like people, you know, there's rules that vary. I don't know the rules as far as these other ones. A lot of times it's just preference. Do you like the bitches dealing to you? Do they look prettier? I mean, there's 52 cards in the deck. I just feel confident with the bet online because we caught him cheating. I know that motherfucker's going to stay in line because I'll expose them. You know, we will take their ass down.
We had talked about this during when we were off. I had asked him, I had said, have you ever experienced that the casinos cheat? And he told me a story that if you look up online casino caught cheating, that was Mike.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. If you just Google online casino caught cheating, or even go on YouTube, they're replaying my video 100 million times.
Oh, yeah. You'll see it. You'll see it everywhere. It's a crazy video, and that thing blew up when that happened.
I was number one on Reddit, not just like a category. I was number one on Reddit, period. Like the general Reddit, number one. And then that's when the haters started. Because here's this street kid. He can't teach. Oh, these guys, Blackjack Army, a bunch of morons. They can't know how to count cards. They didn't go to MIT or Harvard or Yale. You know, they're just, you know. Right. I think they went to Princeton. Isn't that the girls' college? Because there's some pussies. Snap.
I want to say thanks, Foxwoods, for your call, and Daniel's jumping in the chat. Daniel, sorry that you're late, man. I know we had issues getting this going here to begin with, but welcome to the stream. If you have any questions for Mike, just drop them in the chat, or you can. Anybody out there listening, you can call in. The number is 706-237-8230. For some reason, they can't hear you, but I'll translate, and we'll fix all that. I don't understand what the issue is. But
why don't you try to fix? It's more interesting. You know, I can pretend I'm like, hello, hi. I got a question.
Maybe I'll put them on speakerphone or something.
Yeah, I got a question for Mike.
Yeah.
Now I look up. Hello.
There you go. I'll play it on speaker next, and then that way you guys can hear it.
Me and Mike will start talking with voices in our head.
Talk to my boys here.
I have to say that this has been a really interesting learning experience.
Right, and there's so much you can get into. Like, he was holding up the basic strategy card. Now, you were talking about like what percentage of like advantage do you have? So card counting is like its own little category of an advantage added on top of basic strategy. So basic strategy out of the box is going to be the best possible way to beat the casino, just playing basic strategy. So if you can learn the simple basic strategy rules there, and you really have to look up specific ones for whatever type of casino you're going to. If you're going to a single deck, a double deck, 8 deck, 6 deck shoe, something like that.
I want to give a gift to your viewers. You guys can contact him. The first 5 people, I don't know if they can text you or what, that say basic strategy, I'll mail you a basic strategy card for free.
There you go.
Throw it in an envelope. So if you're watching, this is a gift from Blackjack Army to you. They're little basic strategy cards. You could take them into the casino. They can't stop you using them.
Right.
Yeah. These are our Blackjack Army.
There's a lot of casinos that actually even sell them in the gift shop. So like
you I'm gonna give them, I got 5. I'm giving away 5.
Perfect.
My boys are having me on the show. There they are. So 5 people get them. All you got to do is type or call in, and you can just call and say, basic strategy, and there you go. You got it.
Yeah, as long as I got your number or some way to contact you, we'll make that happen. I appreciate that, Mike. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's only $5,000.
That's.
Can you imagine these? If these motherfuckers made their money in a casino for real, they'd be giving away basic strategy cards.
Oh, this one phone call with Blackjack Apprenticeship for this hour that we've been on here would have cost me what, $500? I think they charge an hour.
I forget what it's $150 for.
Oh my God.
15 minutes. 15 minutes for $150.
I mean, and we're learning so much. I'm sure we're learning just as much as they're teaching. Because I feel like in that kind of realm, it's like any other realm where there's a teacher who, if when you're the teacher, you don't want to pass on everything that you know.
Yeah.
But you're going to pass on to them everything that they know.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of these places, or a lot of these people who do this are probably, shady like that. And like, I'm going to take your money and shorthand you on information.
But what's funny is if you look us up, they're like, scam. Mike's a scam. How the fuck am I? Where's the scam? And they're like, Mike raped some girls. Do I look like I need to take some pussy? They just throw any and every fucking thing you could think of.
Jesus.
Am I a gangster? Will I pull a gun on you? Yes. Will I blow your fucking head off? Yes, but I'm not raping bitches. I'm not scamming people. But
that's where we draw the line.
You know what I mean?
We draw the line at scamming.
I'm a piece of shit at times, but I'm not a fucking scam. I got morals here. I'll pistol whip the shit out of a motherfucker. But that's why it blows my mind. And you know what? That was the problem, because I didn't expect to become this famous blackjack player, and then the internet. I'm used to hanging out with my clique. So here's this motherfucker making a video, and I'm like, I really will. I will do this to you. Where are you? And then I took it personal. I didn't know what a fucking troll was. You understand? So here these people calling me, oh, you want to say I did this? Or I'm a scam? I'm hunting your ass down. And then the FBI got, this bunch of pussies behind keyboards. Because then I find out who the fuck they are. And I really, I can't say too much, but because I ain't done yet, if you know what I'm saying. So
Jesus.
They might think they got off, but look me in the eye. I ain't done.
Oh God. Well,
I do have a chat right here. I want to read this off before we move on. Daniel in the chat says he had a guy come into the casino one night with a sheet of paper on how to count cards and just laid it on the table and thought he was going to be able to use it. I think if you get to the point where you're bringing in a piece of paper of how to count cards, you probably should have never came into the casino to begin with.
The casinos love people training or wannabe card counters.
Oh, yeah.
Those are suckers, man. Mm-hmm. And, I'm going to give a spoiler alert. We play online now. And I've been, in the beginning, my fucking bird is just singing his ass off. Come here, Charlie. So in the beginning, I was counting cards, and I said, you know what? I'm going to sneak this in here. So then I'd be like, Henry, count cards. Exposing, count cards. I have different people counting cards. Gabe. And there was a plan for that, because we're going to start separating. This is amazing. And we're going to watch 6 tables online. And when the counts fluctuate, say he's at a table and the counts plus 10, we're all jumping off those 5 other tables and coming to his online. We're going to tear up this online casino shit. We're only going to be playing really when there's a high count. Of course, we have to have people. It's going to take a sacrifice, and I got to figure out a way where people watching after we get big enough have to pay, not so that we can make money off of it, but so that they're banking us while we're sitting there, rather than me keep loading my fucking money up. You know what I mean? It's almost like somebody to watch the stock market for you. So we can all jump on there with $2,000, do minimum bets, and then announce the things that, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Because it takes money to be able to watch all these tables.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know,
and
a lot of guys.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
A lot of guys don't have money like me. So it's like, I need 6 fucking people on 6 different tables. And then everybody watching, you could come up and you could bet behind that person. So somebody at home could be sitting on their ass watching, and they say, oh shit, Henry just said there's a true count of +5 on table 14. And here they come. And then they're going to make money behind them. But we need a way to be able to finance Henry. We need to be able to finance fucking Landon. We need to finance, everybody. I don't give a fuck about me. I finance, it'd be nice, but I play good enough so I can make my money regardless, for the most part. So, but I need a way, and I think I might set you up as the banker, where you can set up a thing, Landon, where you get the money, because God forbid they start saying I'm a scammer and keeping it. Somebody needs to be the treasurer. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And then allot that money out to the other people that are going to go card count. This shit's about to get big. This is where we're going.
It can be huge. And Dillan, I don't know if you know what he was talking about with the bet behind, but with that specific website is unlimited people he can be out on the table actually playing, and I can say, okay, I'm going to put $25 on this bet, and if whatever he makes the moves, but if he wins, I win. If he loses, I lose. So that's unlimited people can do that. So if we can get on a table,
is there a max bet on that?
Yes, yeah. 20,000 or something like that.
Oh Jesus! Fucking.
But the thing is, no, don't think about doing the martingale on there.
No.
He's like, fuck this.
So he's trying to cheat. He's trying to get out easy.
Hey, no, I don't want any part of this shit.
That's why the last few weeks of live streaming, I've been just watching people. Remember the time Henry split his 2s when he shouldn't, or 4s, whatever it was. Right. I'm making sure that my guys know what they're doing with every hand, so that when we come to that point where we're watching 6 tables, we have to depend on them, and we have to trust
them.
their judgment, not their judgment,
Their
that they know what the fuck they're doing. They need to know how to play that hand, because they might have eventually $100,000 worth of bets behind that one hand. You know, as a year from now, I'm projecting, because I mean, we're getting big as fuck. They keep, you know, my channel, like you said, it got knocked down by the haters. They kept reporting it as hateful content, this and that, but you know, and it'll happen again. That's why it's important to go to the Facebook page. So when we pop up again, you know.
Right. It's unbelievable what the potential could be.
Yeah. And then even on land-based casinos, if people, you know, there's a lot of people that are, you know, on the Blackjack Army YouTube channel, they can leave a comment and say, I'm in Boston, you know, like Rocco did. And then somebody else in Boston will go to that region video. You have to go to the playlist to understand, guys. But, you know, you can meet people in your area and actually play with them. So.
Right. So they could go to my local casino and meet up with somebody. What's so cool about the live streams is that, you know, we're holding each other accountable. So I can be like, Dillan, you're a dumbass. You should have done this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It only takes so many of those of everybody giving you shit before you realize, okay, I should have split my eights there.
But the thing with meeting up with people too is that you'll get better. You know, so by meeting up, you're getting better, and by streaming, you know, together, you guys are getting better.
Oh yeah.
I wish the best for your whole operation here. I think it sounds.
It's not my operation; it's ours. See?
Yes, it's a whole umbrella.
The last channel I had it focused, everybody was like Mike. Like on the Discord, they were like, "When's Mike coming on?" Fuck Mike. Y'all need to take responsibility. If you're watching this shit, you need to talk amongst each other. I mean, I'm not Jesus. I can't come in there and lay hands on you and be like, "Oh, you can count cards now." And that was the problem with the last time. They were like, it was like, "Where's Mike?" Like I was a god or some shit. I'm nobody. I'm just me. You know, here's the knowledge. It's up to you guys to practice with it. And they're like, "Oh, Mike's never on. Why the fuck should I be?" But now I'm taking it more hands-on. But I'm letting everybody know, if you want, this isn't my shit. You need to help contribute. You need to help other people practice. Everybody, you know, we got a TikTok and people are contributing to that, which is great. You know, this thing, you know, you got the Shriners, you got the Masons, you got these different organizations and groups. My goal at some point, even with biker clubs, they got, you know, what do they call it? The Hells Angels. They got clubhouses. All around the country. Eventually I would like some Blackjack Army clubhouses, and maybe they give back to the community. They can do charity events, maybe charity blackjack games where people from the public can come in and they donate that money back to, like, you know, the children's hospitals. I got a lot of goals here and people haven't heard them yet, but we're going to do it this time. I know what a troll is. I'm not going to let that get to me, but I'm still got a couple of mine.
He's coming for those old ones though.
When I say something, I mean it. That's the bad thing about fucking with somebody like me. So you better, Oh, I forgive you. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But a motherfucker like me, you cross the line like, not now. Now they can say shit, but I'm going back then when a motherfucker calls somebody like me out in my background. Anyways, so we're going to help out the kids. We're going to fucking, you know,
He's becoming Robin Hood, ladies and gentlemen. Robin Hood has entered the chat. He's going to be giving.
The captain, man.
That's on our Discord. That's my thing. I got Robin Hood.
He's the Robin Hood.
The carefree. So I'm just like the animated Robin Hood, where he's just like, here comes little John Robin Hood. You know that? Where they dance around. Robin Hood is just carefree. That's me. Because I've been through so much shit in my life. You know, I can actually say I don't give a fuck. Because, you know, I don't give a fuck. There's nothing that anybody can do to me that hasn't already been done. And there's nothing really I can't say on here that I haven't done. So, you know, I mean, they got to, and I know I'm the head of this Blackjack Army thing theoretically, but again, I'm just the fucking peanut on the jar. It's what's inside the jar. People don't buy it so they can look at the peanut. You know what I mean? Right. This round, I don't want people to focus on me. You know, let's focus on what it is. That way these haters will have a lot harder time coming at us, because it's not about Mike anymore. You know?
Right.
Well, and I think too, you had brought up, you had said like people in the old version, you know, they had said, well, where's Mike? Mike's never on. Yeah. I would equate that kind of like, these are folks who wanted a corner man. These are
Yeah.
folks who want their coach in their corner to tell them what they should do. And when they didn't have that, they just froze up and got KO'd in the first round.
That's what I say. This group that we've got now, I want them to lean on each other, not me. You know, I even left a message on their Discord saying, "Don't fucking DM me unless you're fucking your stepmother and your house is on fire." I put like this long, insane quote, and I didn't do it to offend people. I just don't want people coming on there to talk to me. I'm just me. Talk to each other, your family. This is an army. You know, it's like picking up the phone to talk to the president. You got to go through a chain of command. You know what I mean? I'll pop on, we'll kick it. But fuck, and that was the problem. Last time I had so many followers. And in the beginning, not knowing it would get big, I would take phone calls. You know, I would talk to people one-on-one. But then you get up to fucking over 60,000. And those are just people that hit the subscribe button. Most blackjack people aren't internet savvy. They don't have accounts. They're not hitting subscribe. So you got to fucking times that times 5. We're talking about a couple 100,000. I can't take that many phone calls. And then they'd email me or text me, say, that's fucked up. You don't talk to me. I thought you talked to people. They took it personal, you know? And I'm giving myself a little bit of space with people this time so that they don't feel hurt. Like, oh, Mike didn't talk to me, but he talked to, Dillan. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's a good point.
You're protecting them from themselves. That's what you're doing.
Right.
And I don't want to hurt them. Yeah.
And these people now are starting to realize there's a lot of other people that are on playing. So, you can go on and watch them. I mean, if you have money and bet online, you can still watch without playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can just watch other people play. So,
and that's a good place to practice too. If they're just sitting at home, they could broadcast it on the TV. You don't have to play with us. If you could be broke. Matter of fact, I got a good story. When I first came out years ago, this homeless guy, this is back when I was taking calls, I helped him like one-on-one. He was going to the library to watch my fucking videos. He had a little, a food stamp phone. Remember those? He had the food stamp phone, Obama phone. They call him Obama. So he would call me on his limited fucking minutes, and I'd help him out. You know, that motherfucker has got I think it's like $3,000 a month apartment now. He's driving a Benz. He's all from watching the free tutorials, on there.
I think that's a testament. Like you have to take it seriously. Like you can get the information; it's out there free. But if you don't roll with it, then
if you don't like me, fuck me. Get it from my other boys. I don't care. They could, a lot of people. I might rub them the wrong way. I might come off too real, too raw. I understand. If you want a Mr. Rogers, go talk to.
Go to Black Jap Apprenticeship.
Go pay $5 grand and get your dick sucked by another man. Now that I ain't got nothing against that, but. I mean, sometimes their tone is kind of feminine, but I ain't got nothing. A lot of my good friends are gay. I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with that. They would definitely agree, Well,
I hate to say it, but we've definitely kept Mike way past the time that I told him that we could. So, before we get off here, Mike, is there anything that I got the links to everything down in the description, but is there anything that you really want to point people to? This is your time to, spit off everything you want for plugs.
I really don't have. I mean, like I said, do you guys have any fucking shit to talk? I've talked.
All the shit's down in the chat.
Let me see. This is the thing I'm not good at. All right,
plug it.
Hi, folks at home. If you're interested in card counting, I recommend you learn basic strategy first. It's really easy. Anyone can do it. Just put in a little effort and time, and go fuck yourselves. Have a great night. How's that?
That's perfect.
Well said.
Awesome, Mike. Thanks so much for coming on the air tonight, man. It's been awesome. And we need to do this again because there's a lot more we could get into.
Every night. You guys want some subscribers picking up, man. Just do the show.
Well, all right, Mike. I appreciate it, man. We're going to jump off here, but thank you so much for your time. And like I said, we'll definitely do this again.
All right.
All right, bud. Have a good night. Wow, dude. Dillan.
Yes, sir.
I know you didn't really know what to expect with the show.
No, but I'll say this blew away my expectations.
Yeah, and we really didn't even scratch the surface. I definitely wanted to, respect the time because we're like double what I told him. So, we can have him come back on at some other point for sure.
No, but what I'll say, are we still on?
No, yeah, we're still on.
What I'll say is he didn't seem upset You know, he seemed almost willing to keep going if we really wanted to. You know, we just didn't want to hold him because when you do a show, you do lose track of time. It happens. But he was so cool about it. No, I'll do this every night. And I believe him. I think this dude's sincere as hell that he would come on and do this shit every day.
Oh, he would, dude. I mean, he does it on his channel every night. You know what I mean? It's no big deal. So I was really hoping that this would, you know, bring some more people to the channel over there and just some more people to play with. This is the thing. Like, if you didn't know that this existed, like, you may never find it.
This is definitely something that you're pretty passionate about.
Oh, I love it.
This is something you're interested in and passionate about. How many years ago did you find Mike?
You know, I tried thinking about this for tonight, and I think it was back in like 2016. I want to say maybe 2015. So it's been like 5 years or so, at least 5 years, maybe a little longer.
You've been following him for a long time. How did you get into contact with him and getting on the Discord and all of that? You know,
well. When I first did that was back when he had his huge channel. And I mean, it's just one of those things. It's open. It's free. Anybody can watch him live play, and he'll drop a link to a Discord. You can go in there and talk to him, you know, while he's playing. You can play with him. I mean, none of this is hidden. Like, it's all out there. But if you don't know, you're not going to find it. So that's kind of how I found him. It was one of those things. Like, I used to watch it because I had to work early mornings up in Atlanta. And I live like 2 hours from work, so I had to wake up really early. But I would just lay there at night, just laughing my ass off, watching this guy prank call these casinos, just do all this crazy shit. Like, he was buck ass wild way back in the day. And I don't know, dude. I just, like I said, I've always had like that weird like business mindset of like, oh, I need to make money type thing. And so like, this is just one of the thousands of other things that I looked into, and I was like, dude, this is this is something that really anybody could do. And
this is one that has results that you have seen personally. You've seen the result of how it works.
Oh yeah. And I mean, like I said, you can look up some of the more famous people who've been card counters, and I mean, you're talking into millions and millions and millions of dollars that some of these people have taken.
It's funny, Landon, because while you're doing card counting and getting into stocks and launching all of these podcasts, I'm doing music, doing podcasts, and now I'm doing commentary.
I have a chat here, and we'll talk about that. Daniel says, I wanted to ask if he did ace tracking, and he wanted to know about the true count or just running count. So, we did talk about that, Daniel. It's probably part of the part that you missed, but that's one thing that he can do is shuffle track, and I think we did talk a little bit about the true count and the running count. So, and if not, I'll cover this real quick. But so true count. Our running count is just going to be the continuous count from start of the shoe all the way to the end. True count is going to be taking that count and dividing it by how many decks are left in the shoe. So if you have, you know, a plus 20 count and there's 4 decks left, you divide that by 4. So the true count would be plus 5. Did you follow that, Dylan?
No fucking idea what the hell you just said to me, but it doesn't matter because I don't need to know any of this shit. But for those of you who are thinking of being interested in this, more mathematical minds than I, that's for you. I'm just a pretty face and a stupid voice.
Yeah, I mean, so I want to talk about what you did last night, because I was watching, or I was on YouTube probably in the late afternoon, early evenings, and I saw this freaking event ad, and I was like, wait, that says The Dillan Holiday. And I was like, wait a second, this is UFC.
He doesn't do this. He doesn't do this shit.
I was like, all he does is sing on here. Like, this is not, what is happening? I literally looked like 3 times. I'm like, it says Dillan. So I click on it, and I'm like, sure as shit, it is him. So, what brought you into wanting to do commentary for the UFC last night?
So, holy shit, I don't know what just happened to me. So, the other week, I was talking with one of my friends, and we were talking about how excited we were for this fight. And he said, man, you're going to pay for it. You're going to watch it. And I was like, yeah. And then I started thinking about it. Because I was thinking about, like, what do I do when I'm broke and there's a fight that I want to see? I go on YouTube and I watch what's called a fight companion. Joe Rogan does fight companions from time to time. MMA on Point, which is a big channel, does fight companions. And all a fight companion is it's a group of people or a guy just telling you what's happening in the fight, what's happening on the stream. And I said, first off, I know that I can do decent commentary. I know that I know what I'm talking about, and I know I can get the point across to the audience. So I'll do it. And then at the end of it, I'll promote my PayPal. And if people want to throw me some money, it'll just be some extra money. Maybe I could break even on paying for the pay-per-view.
Right.
Because this shit isn't cheap.
Right.
And I did break even. So
Really?
I did break even. Yes, I made a little bit over.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, so people actually hooked up the PayPal, or was that just from watch time?
No, folks hooked up the PayPal.
Fuck, dude. Good job, man.
I will tell you, we had 18 people.
Uh-huh.
It was the most talkative 18 people ever. So you were in the chat. You saw how active these fucking people.
I was jumping in and out because I was on my phone watching people who were actually showing the fight. And but I was jumping back and forth. But I saw today, dude, you had like over 500 people view it.
Yeah, I think 508 people was the count when I saw 10 likes, 1 dislike, and I know who the motherfucker was that disliked it too.
Well, the thing is like once you put that name UFC 257 in YouTube, like
everybody wants to come.
Everybody's searching for that. So
and it's like, dude, because there was a dude who came in right before the first fight started. He's like, "Why don't you turn your camera on and show the fight?" I said, "Dude, why don't you just pay for the fight?"
Right.
To me, I'm providing a service here, doing something that, like, I don't have to do. And I'm doing it better than a lot of people. There were a lot of people that came from other streams and told me that I was doing a better job than other people who do this all the time. It was the first time I've done this, but I'm going to definitely pursue it. And listen, to me, it's not about making money. I would like to break even. It's just something I'm passionate about. But this morning, so I went to sleep at 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
This morning, I woke up at 7:30, and the first thing I did was build a Discord template for what's going to be the whole new thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have fight statistics to the right, my screen to the left. It's gonna be pretty. I'm going all out with it, and hopefully this is something that I can do and that folks will enjoy and that I can build. Like I said, we only had like 18 people. Peak live views was like 24, which is still better than what we get here, Landon. I just like to add, but folks, those 18 or 24 people were very generous, and many of them donated, and I appreciate, the fact that these folks, reached into their own pocket. They didn't pay for the fight, but they reached into their own pocket and sent me $35, $15, $10. They were very generous.
I have a couple chats here before this gets out of hand. Yes. I do want to shout out here Webmaster. What's up, Webmaster, watching on YouTube? He said he missed the beginning, didn't get a notification. Look, for everybody that's watching right now, once I end this stream, this goes out, and you'll be able to rewatch everything from the beginning. But this does go out to every podcast platform that's out there, from iTunes to iHeartRadio. All you have to search is Exposing Reality, and you'll be able to find our past episodes literally everywhere, from Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, everything. So I would say literally 99% of our people who listen to this listen after the fact. It's just the case. But yeah, so Webmaster says, it's nice to put a face to a voice. Yeah, because I've only ever talked in Discord. So a lot of these people who are coming from Mike's side have never seen my face before.
Yeah, that's a neat thing. I'm big on, I enjoy Discord, and I was thinking about streaming the fight for my Discord people. I didn't end up doing it. Yeah. Because I have a Discord that has 3,000 people. It's a big community, a bunch of nice folks. And I was thinking about streaming the fight, but I was like, fuck them. Well, somebody else did.
I wanna say, like, if you learn this Streamlabs stuff, dude, with the companion thing or whatever, or talking up these fights, Like, you could make some really cool visuals to put on the screen. You
And
could put,
that's-
you know, photos of the fighters up so you know who we're
Yeah.
talking about. I mean, there's a
I mean,
lot that could go into that make it
that's-
really fucking cool.
And that's the thing.
Here's
is,
my
like,
only feedback. I think you should have had Jay on the show with you. I think you need to have another person to
Yeah.
chat this with.
so, believe it or not, we're looking into that.
Because I think you were getting winded at some points, and it's like, so it'd be nice if somebody else could jump in and give him a break, you know?
You could definitely hear towards the end. Everybody knew towards the end that I was winding low. I mean, I was very excited for the main event,
Yeah.
but when the knockout happened, I mean, it got to a point where it was difficult to say what had happened. All I could say is that, you know, the knockout took place, the TKO took place. But other than that, like, it was my first time doing it. And as far as the visuals go, I mean, that's something that obviously I'm not that good with. All that production shit isn't my bag, but I am looking into maybe finding some templates or finding people who are good at that and, you know, throwing some money at them to help a brother out.
Yeah,
But,
I had Connor being knocked out in the first round, and I got a lot of shit for that. It's one of those things, like, I just expected, you know, the other dude to come in and he'd just be so fucking angry that he's just going to snap. And that's what I was expecting. But when you called it and you were like, Connor got knocked out, I was like, I thought you were fucking with us. Like, I was really thinking you were fucking with us.
I think that came across to a lot of people. That
it was just the way you said it was not, like, super exciting, but yet so, like, I was unsure, you know?
But it was such a real moment. I mean, you could see my eyes were wide because I rewatched certain parts that I knew I was either going to do really well or really bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did the call and I just go, Poirier. He backs McGregor into a corner. McGregor, he's down, but the fight hasn't been called. And the fight's called. Poirier's done it. And I feel like people thought that I was fucking with them, because it's one of those things. It's really hard for people to believe that McGregor was beat.
Oh yeah, dude, you should have seen the amount of shit I got for not backing up Connor and saying Connor was going to win.
It was the night. It was the night of the underdog. UFC 257 was the night of the underdog, and every underdog, for the most part, won on the card. I think,
there was a lot of them that were unexpected.
Out of the entire card, I believe there was one fight where the underdog didn't win.
Wow. That's
Jessica I and Calderwood. Calderwood beat I. That was it. That was the only one.
Wow.
I think for the rest of them it was all the unders. So I mean, there was a lot of money made, hands down, off of last night's people who gamble on the fights. What is that, Sports King or whatever?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Four Kings or something like that.
Yeah, whatever the hell it is.
But FanDuel, something like that. But I used to be huge into UFC. I actually trained with a guy who now is a black belt under Eddie Bravo for 10th Planet. He owns the 10th Planet down in Decatur, Alabama. He's actually been a commentator for a lot of fight nights, UFC fight nights. Brandon McCatherine. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
But yeah, I used to, back before he was really just getting into jiu-jitsu, he used to just kick my ass all the time. But I would roll with that guy, I'm talking for hours and hours every single week, and just get my ass kicked. But now he's like this freaking famous dude who's out there killing it, man. I'm so proud of him.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm never going to be a famous fucking commentator. Look at me. But
dude, you never fucking know.
But I'll say this. I think that
look at JR with WWE. That motherfucker.
I'll say this. Were you entertained for the parts of the stream that you were in, Landon?
Oh, I was. The only thing I said that you should have done different was, tell me what the women look like a little better. But if you had some visuals, I would be able to figure that out.
Yeah, all of you perverts in the chat, I swear to God, people are just watching my stream with their pants around their ankles, talking about the women and McGregor. These fucking people are losing their minds. I need to figure out the visuals. The visuals that I would like to get, visuals for each fighter, their name, tail of the tape, and then each round. I'd like to be able to show you what the round is and have the round timer. But that's a
Dude,
lot of shit that I don't know how to do.
I'll help you build it, and I'll build the template so that all you have to do is just click on it and change the names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could just click on it and retype whatever you need to type, but I'll help you. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
It's super simple. And what the thing is, especially like this show now, once you get it set up, like, it's there. So now I can just just click buttons and scroll through all these different scenes, and it's awesome.
It's one of those things, because I know that, like, obviously I'm people look at my YouTube channel and they think this is a person who does mainly singing. Every once in a while he cooks. You know, nobody expected I was going to get into the fight commentary game.
No, I thought it was fun, dude. Yeah, you just need to have somebody else on there, I think. And
I mean, the fact that I made money, you know, the fact that people were very generous, I appreciate that so much. I think that the reason they did it is I think folks realized that, like, I was one person who was doing a good job for what it was. And I'd like to get Jay in there. We had a conversation about that, and I am launching another podcast, by the way.
Really?
As of today, I am launching another podcast. Yes, sir.
What is that called?
I don't have a name yet, but there's a fella on TikTok who, much like myself, is big into the old music, the old way of life, that old school kind of shit. Mm-hmm. He's a veteran. The man's 50 years old. He's a Georgian as well. He lives in Georgia.
Word. What part, do you know?
I'd have to ask him. I'll have to ask him.
Well, sweet. Once you figure that out, we'll
one of those backwoods areas. But I brought up doing a show, and he's hyped for it. You know, he's stoked. So it could be a one-time thing. You know, where I just do a show with this guy one time and we just get him out there to the world. But he's such a cool fucking cat, man. And so yeah, I'll be doing that.
Fuck yeah,
doing
dude.
A lot of shit, man.
Good deal, man. I'm just all wore out, dude. I'm just spread so thin everywhere, and I can't do anything else. I'm not picking nothing else up. I'm going to start shedding some shit.
That's the thing, is it's like I used to do so much shit. You know, I used to do so many podcasts. I used to do so many. I quit doing everything. So now it's like, I kind of miss it. And I don't do music nearly as much as I used to, you know, because I'm trying to do other things. And, you know, like, this podcast is easy because we don't even know when we're going on or what we're doing when we go on. You know, this is easy. It's just us sitting down and talking.
We literally got on here 5 minutes before we went live.
Yeah, I was still waking up when we went on, yeah. But, like, if I can sit down and make a schedule, and if I know, okay, this fight is this day, I'm going to do a fight companion for it, that's going to really help me. And hopefully I can build some new audience and build some revenue too. I'm not trying to get rich, but, you know, make more of a living. That's what I think.
Dude, I think you totally could. There's so many avenues you could do. I mean, there's so many different things you could do. Podcast is probably the least profitable one out of all of them, honestly. So, you know, I certainly don't do this to make any money, because it's never going to make money. I mean, dude, for fun. Yeah, this show, with as shitty as it is making about $5 a week right now, though.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, I mean, imagine, if you will, what a fight companion could make. If I get a little bit more well known, if I keep doing shows and people know me as, oh, this is a musician who does the fight companions. If I get well known, people start donating, I make money from the revenue on YouTube. I mean, that could really fucking blow up.
Well, the thing is, are you sure you want to do this on your channel, or are you going to create a second channel to do that?
I've been contemplating. And I think that I would like to keep it on my channel.
I would. Now, here's the thing. When you're streaming that stuff, like I said, that's what everybody's searching for. So the amount of subscribers that you're going to gain from doing that it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, and the reason that I want to keep it on mine, there's two major reasons. Number one, because I already have subscribers. I already have a bunch of videos. And while not everyone's going to watch those videos, it's still just building onto the audience that I already have. which I like.
Right.
The other thing with it is I like the idea of everything being in one place.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of all my money coming from, one area. I like the idea that I don't want to have to run and manage 15 channels and taking money from all these areas. I want it all to be compiled together.
Right.
And I think that it's clear that my channel is, I do a lot of shit.
Right.
Even though most people know me for the music, there's a lot of shit that happens on my channel. I do cooking, and I've done funny videos, I've done gaming videos. And next month, when I get the new computer, I think I'm going to be opening up a whole new avenue.
Oh, you're getting a new computer?
Oh boy, am I ever.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Upgrading, huh?
Oh, we're getting a major upgrade here.
Dang,
Major. I'm
boys
gonna
balling.
Well, that's the thing is it's I'm trying to really take this shit seriously. I'm running on a system that's a little older than I would like. I'd like to have something that can run fast as hell and do the job that I need it to do. So I'm going to get something that's way better than what I need.
Right.
I'm going to go the gaming route. Even though I'll never use it for gaming, I'll use it for the show.
That's what I do. Mine's
and that
gaming.
way I'll never have an issue with running the show.
Right.
Will be quick as hell, and I'll never have a problem with the fight companions because I want to be up to date as quick as possible. And that's why the stream had no delay yesterday. I didn't set a 30-second delay. I was answering the chat as quickly as I could.
Right.
But I appreciate you tuning in yesterday. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, I wouldn't have even known about it, but it popped up first thing suggested, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, you probably were like, "Oh, this motherfucker's gonna stream the fight and get sued by Dana."
Yeah.
I think I made it clear that I put UFC 257 live commentary. I think I made it
you
clear.
did it fine. You did it
right. But people still come in and they're like, "Hey, you should put a mirror behind you. There's no crime with that." Like, yeah, they do that.
They're stupid. Well, I hate to say it, dude, but I got to get off here.
Yep, we're done. We're winding low.
Yeah, I'm done, and my little one's still not asleep. Yay! So anyway,
well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate it so much. And Mike, thank you for coming on and talking to us for way longer than we anticipated. And everybody, can I plug my shit, Landon? I don't think I've ever plugged my shit.
I don't know why you don't.
So if you guys are interested in watching the Fight Companions or my old people music, the Dillan Holiday, just search that up on YouTube, TheDillanHolliday, right on YouTube, and you'll see me in all of my beautiful glory. Thank you guys so much, and have a lovely day.
I'm gonna play some. Of your songs one day on here.
No, you said that you were going to get fight clips. You can't play my music because I cringe at that, but you can play some of the fight clips. I'll allow that. I'll cringe at the music. I'm telling you.
All right, dude. I'm getting out of here. It's been fun, man. This was a great show. I'm just fucking stoked about it. We got to do this again. All right. I'll see you guys later. Thanks, everybody.